Hey guys, what's going on? We are here not live streaming Monster Hunter World. So, yeah, this is a bit awkward because I'm really new to this. We are doing some art live streams today. Hopefully this will be an ongoing thing because it's a really good excuse for me to draw more, which I've really been intending to do. It's kind of one of the main reasons I got this new computer and this tablet monitor, so I can transition to digital art. Okay, so we're live streaming with OBS directly from my PC, so this is a little different than my usual setup. Hopefully the audio levels are okay and everyone can hear me fine. Usually art live streams are a little slower paced because while there's no video game to kind of keep people entertained, and I am going to be doing live commentary as I draw, I guess I'll just kind of lay out what I'm thinking here. Hey Lance, what's going on? Yeah, I'm okay. Salty wants me to draw some boobies. I guess I technically can do that, but I don't know how detailed I can be before YouTube shuts down my stream. So, yeah, we'll see about that. Yeah, I'm not really opposed to boobs and all that stuff, but yeah, maybe we'll go easy on that stuff while we're just starting this stuff out. Okay, so yeah, so hopefully audio and visual is okay. I don't have this computer hardwired to by Ethernet. It is wireless, so if we find that the connection isn't very good, maybe I'll do an Ethernet connection for the next art live stream. But I'm gonna have to get out my 50-foot Ethernet cable, and that thing's kind of a bitch to unpack and untangle and all that type of stuff. Okay, so let's talk about this drawing a little bit. This is kind of a redo on my Wing Gundam redesign for my story, and I did when did I do the last drawing? Yeah, the last drawing's fairly old. Here's my shitty DeviantArt page. DeviantArt has really gone down the drain. I'm looking for a new place to host my stuff if you guys have any ideas. Yeah, so the last drawing I did about 10 years ago, and as you can see, it is, I think I'm basically going to keep the design mostly the same. I'm just going to try to do better proportions and detail and geometry, and yeah, some of the proportions are just really off. And of course I did this back on pencil, so I got a little lazy with the symmetry, so hopefully we can rectify all that with our new digital platform. But yeah, that's what that looks like. Okay. Okay, Hide Hoshiro wants me to draw male nipples. I suppose that will not get me kicked off of YouTube, but I don't know. Somebody will find a reason to be offended by something. Quick, somebody say that they're offended by robots. Okay, so, alright, is my pen activated? Okay, pen's on. Okay, so I have this broken out into a few layers. Actually, why is all my shit all weird looking? Hold on. Here, okay, so we have a few layers. We have the head on a layer. The neck, technically, there's not a lot of detail on that yet. And the torso is on a different layer. The torso used to be a bit bigger, but I resized it to be a bit smaller. And that's really the greatest thing so far about digital art, is you can rescale things and reproportion things very easily. Yeah, so that's really helping me out. And you know what? That might be the first thing we're going to fix. So, okay, so these head Vulcans and these shoulder machine cannons are supposed to be different calibers. And, I guess Gundam calibers are really fucking weird, but, yeah, these are supposed to be 60mm up here, and these are 80mm. So, since I resized the torso to be smaller, they kind of look almost the same size now. So let's go ahead and make this smaller. So, I'm going to grab our lasso tool and select that. And I don't know how to right click with my pen, so I'm just going to use my mouse. Free transform. You know what, let's get a size comparison back in there. Yeah, and I actually don't know all the keyboard shortcuts. Good. Oh Jesus, what happened? Okay, we're gonna hold down shift so it keeps the same scale. I guess about that big. is right. Okay. Where's the right position for that? I think that's about right. Oh no. What are you doing? Okay, there. Okay, deselect. Okay, that seems a little better. Maybe we'll go a little bit smaller, just a little bit. Oh, Jesus. I need to be careful about using the Alt key because it selects your menu up here. Anyway, just a tiny bit smaller. There we go. Okay, and I guess if we're going this small, we're going to have to redo this line right here. So let's go ahead and get our brush out. I resized the brush since I was repainting some things earlier, so let's go back down to 6. And I don't know why, but a lot of digital artists are just fucking obsessed with brushes and brush sets and stuff, and I'm such a fucking amateur. I don't even know what the big deal is. I just use the standard brush because I'm basically just doing line art right now. I don't really give a shit. So yeah, let's go ahead and redo this line. Okay, and we're just gonna do, ooh, that's a little sensitive. Okay, very lightly redo this. Okay, and okay, so I do have this neat button on my stylus pen thing where I can just switch between brush and eraser. Okay, and notice that so this is obviously a circular geometry right here, but I'm not connecting the line. And so that kind of gives it more of an organic and cohesive geometry. Like this is all one piece and it's not like disconnected or anything like that. Anyway, but now that I made basically the barrel size smaller, it's gonna leave like all this like a negative space right here, empty, just not much going on with it. So let's add in a little detail. What we're gonna do, I guess we can just do one of these. Okay, yeah, that seems pretty alright. Okay, so let's go in and resize the guy on the right over here. Okay, we can basically just do the same trick. Oh. There we go. The trick is we want it to be about the same height. This one's going to be a little squashed due to foreshortening. Yeah, I don't think we can do much more than that. Okay, let's touch up this line right here. Yeah, and it's not going to change like too much. We're just going to bring it in a little bit. Yeah, if you guys are having any trouble hearing me, just let me know. Yeah, and I know we're just hanging out right now, so if you guys in the comments have any questions or if there are any topics you guys want to talk about, I'll be glad to chat about whatever. There we go. Let's add this line here. That might be too long, but I guess we'll just leave it. Like it's a really small detail, so I guess when you're zoomed out with the actual proportions of the mobile suit, nobody will notice something that small going on. Okay, so what we'll do, I think we're gonna let's get rid of some of these boxes. I think this will make it a little more pleasant for the live stream. Yeah, Lance, this is drawing does take a lot of patience, but it mostly just takes patience because I'm inexperienced. Like, normally people who are very good at drawing, they can go through it pretty fast, but you know, this is really my first official drawing digital, so I'm gonna have to go about this a little slow. And like, a lot of this stream just might be me drawing and redrawing the same line over and over for a few hours. Okay, so what is the next thing we're going to work on? Okay, so this is the, right here is the main torso piece on this layer. So I think, okay, it's not quite done. So what I need to do is add in the abdominal part of the torso, which is actually some of the most complex geometry on mobile suits. So unfortunately, we're going to have to start the stream by doing some really difficult stuff. Okay, so we'll add in the abdominals, and then we'll add in some, basically some joints right here to connect the arms onto the torso, and that will basically complete this layer, and then we're gonna basically just clean up some of these lines and move on from there. Okay, so, alright, let's go ahead and eyeball some of this. This might be a little rough. I might even just do this on another layer first. You know what, let's do that just to be safe. Okay, so abdominals. Okay, so the abdominal section kind of determines kind of the body type of your mobile suit, you know, so they kind of range between like very light armored, very nimble like mobile suits, and mecha in general, like things kind of. And as much as I dislike Evangelion, I guess they kind of started a trend of very organic, very thin and nimble type giant mecha. But yeah, I'm not really fond of things that are like really, really anorexic. Yeah, I guess most of the things I design, they tend to be medium builds. I don't know, because I guess it just, medium just covers the most ground as far as I can tell, in terms of like, if you have that body type, you can pretty much just do the most work and all that stuff. So we're just going to feel this out a little bit. Okay, and we don't want so on the Discord, I talked to this guy named Chief a lot. He's pretty active in the art section on there, and I try to get him to do more complex geometries. So you don't really want a lot of flat shapes. You want to have a subtle transition in your angles. Okay, so there's some people talking in the chat. What are they talking about? Okay, Roken asks, what do you think of the new Gundam Breaker? I think it's terrible. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. I guess Bandai was just doing a quick cash grab, and nobody even did any quality checking on that game, so it was fairly awful in every way possible. I don't think it's really possible to have fun playing that. But some people stuck with that game like forever. They're like still playing it, and I don't know how they managed to do it. But yeah, more power to them. Like, I'm glad they're enjoying something. Okay, this is looking right. We may need to adjust this later. Okay. Okay, and I'm finding that I tend to make my waist sections a little too broad accidentally, and then I'll have to go and make them more narrow later on. I'm trying to just kind of cut out the middleman right here and make it a little on the thin side first. So it's very probable that like we might need to go back and redo the proportions on the abdominals later on. Oh, Roken has to go. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, man. Okay, something seems really off about that for some reason. Yeah, generally when you do the head and the torso, you're feeling, or at least for me, I'm feeling really good about proportions at that point. But once I start adding the abdominals, things just start looking off. But yeah, it may not be possible to adjust it until we have more of the body on there to kind of compare it to. Okay, it just might be that the foreshortening on this side right here is kind of making that difficult to kind of eyeball. Okay, so let's leave that there for now. Okay, and here we're gonna actually draw on the actual layer. Okay, so a lot of mobile suits have this conical shaped joint right here for the shoulder, and of course actual human anatomy doesn't have this. Like, it just it makes the arms very wide compared to the torso, and mobile suits kind of need this because otherwise their arms wouldn't have very good articulation. And I guess mobile suits, they just look like they have really strong posture, like a very powerful stance, very powerful posture when they have wider arms. I guess it's a shoulder thing. Okay, so we can erase these lines now. Okay, Salty says he kind of wants to try doing a custom Nemo pack, or just do Zaku for shits and giggles. Yeah, man, you should go ahead and just pound out those ideas, you know. Yeah, and honestly, drawing it might be a little easier on your hands in video games. You don't need to use like all of both of your hands. I mean, yeah, so okay, so that joint up there. Okay, is this the right size? It might be a bit thin. So let's go ahead and make this bigger. Yeah, and I'm trying to, instead of just redrawing things, I'm trying to make use of free transform a little more, just to learn more digital art practices and stuff like that. Okay, so I don't know if we necessarily want, like, I'm holding down the shift key to kind of keep the same proportion. And I don't know if we necessarily want it to be longer. Maybe. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that seems like it'd be more sturdy for a joint. So let's keep it like that. Deselect. Hey guys, welcome to the stream. Okay, Salty is saying when he used to draw, he hardly started drawing the chest first and followed up with the shoulders, leaving the arms out, then waist and outlines of the legs, then polished up the arms and legs. Okay. He hasn't tried doing weapons yet. Weapons are kind of a pain in the butt. Yeah, it needs a lot of parallel lines, and if they're off, your weapon just looks fucked up. Yeah, if you guys want to know the order I draw things in, like, I always start off with the mouthpiece, and then do the visor line right here, and then I just start building the face around that, and then from there probably Vulcans and ears. You know, not everything has Vulcans, and then I'll do the V-fin, and then like you know, this thing has a mohawk camera and all that stuff. And lately I find that I need to be more careful about the proportions of the head, because Gundams, they do have proportions similar to people, so you got to make sure that the cranium on the head isn't too flat. Again, that's actually sort of a problem with the original drawing. If I can bring that up again. And I know this is going to be horrifying for you guys, but yeah, on here, do you see how... Is there a way I can zoom in on this? Anyway, you see how the cranium is very flat compared to the rest of the face? So on this, the proportions, it just feels off to me because it's got a big face, but a flat cranium. So yeah, not very good proportions on there. So that's one of the main things I'm trying to fix, like on that. Okay, and I think I'll need to redo this line in a second. Anyway, yeah, so that's, I get the head, I do a little bit of just general shape for the neck, and then I move on to the torso piece. From there, my normal practice is to just start doing the shoulder pauldrons, because those look really cool. I really like drawing shoulder pauldrons. But I think now I'm going to try to transition my process a little bit to, I want to draw out, like just sketch out lightly the entire proportion of the mobile suit, just to make sure I can check the posture and proportion before I start adding any level of detail beyond this. Okay, Lance is saying, since he knows nothing about Gundam, does anybody want to hear an interesting fact about Nergigante? Sure, Lance, let us know what is interesting about Nergigante. Okay, let's clean this up a little bit. Okay, eraser mode. Yeah, can you guys see that when my pen switches to eraser mode? I don't know if OBS will capture that. I guess when I expanded it, it made all my lines like really blurry. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you know what we might want to do? Oh, yeah, I should go back to this one. Yeah, so if you hold down the R key, you can rotate your canvas. And that will help me have a more natural pen stroke. There we go. Yeah, so I'm right-handed. So all of my lines are probably, like, this is the most natural line I can make. So if I rotate my canvas, that will help me have cleaner lines. Okay, and you can like set the rotation back to normal like that. Okay, and before I forget, let me fix this. Okay, so this line is a little it's a little shallow. We're gonna make it more vertical. Because the cranium, it should be kind of more shaped like this, but I had it a little off. Huh. I don't know why, but that looks really awful now. Why am I kicking my own ass? Here, let's try that. Anyway, that should be fine for now. Alright, Salty has to go. Yeah, see you later, man. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, Lance says, in the Dive to Monster Hunter World book, it's revealed that Nergigante reproduce asexually through their spikes. Really? Basically, if a spare spike has enough energy in it, it can grow a whole new Nergigante. Wow, that is very interesting. I can't really think of another animal that can do something like that. Just the spikes? I mean, I guess it's possible. I mean, the spikes have DNA, but I just don't know if it has... Like, I know it requires enough energy to do it, but it would have to... I don't know, the spike itself wouldn't really have the ability to just grow a brain and have blood directly, so it's gonna be very difficult for that growing organism to distribute like energy and blood and all that type of stuff. But I don't know, it's Monster Hunter, so shit happens, I guess. Okay, and up here, and this is a part I don't normally draw, but you can do, like, sometimes people just have the shoulder pauldrons just kind of float like on the arm, but I kind of want to attach it to some sort of joint. So what I'm gonna do is, like, this is just a sketch. I have no idea what this part's supposed to look like, but just an idea. We're gonna have like just something coming out like right here, so that the shoulder pauldron can attach to it. Okay, and that way it'll give the mobile suit a little more mobility, like in the shoulder joint, so it moves more similarly to human anatomy. Yeah, like I guess on a robot you could just attach the shoulder armor directly to the shoulder, and then like it can just spin 360 around this joint right here, but I guess that actually makes the armor less interesting, so we'll just do it that way. Anyway, okay, that looks a little goofy right now, but yeah, I'll probably have to reference some things to make this look less stupid. Okay, what do we want to work on right now? I don't know why, but I feel like I want to make the waist a little more narrow, just so it doesn't interfere with this right here. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, let's make this a little more narrow. Tiny bit more narrow. Yeah, those Nergigantes are weird, but I suppose it makes sense that they would want to reproduce asexually, because I don't know, they're so aggressive. I can't imagine them trying to mate with each other. I mean, I guess porcupines manage to do it, like with similar anatomy, but porcupines and hedgehogs, they have to have basically a very long-reaching genitals in order to mate safely. So it might, oh Jesus, I don't know, I think I just traumatized myself because the thought of a Nergigante having very long genitals and then just assaulting all these hunters, that's just very disturbing. Yeah, very, very similar to starfish. I don't know if starfish can go to the extremes where an arm will grow a whole new starfish, though. Like, usually, I thought normally you need the center of the starfish to make a new starfish. Yeah, starfish are weird, though. Have you ever looked at one, like, under a microscope? Like a baby starfish? Like, they start out really, really tiny. And they only got like 3 or 4 legs at start. So, yeah, they're pretty cool. Yeah, and I don't know why, but people never talk about sunfish or anything like that. Those are pretty interesting. Okay, so I think what we want to do here is let's work on some of this. Let's work on some of this neck detail. Let's get the torso out of the way. Okay, and I know this isn't very clean right now. Wait, which layer is this? 4? Okay, let's make sure we're on the right layer. Oh shit. Okay, so where's my pen? Okay, we're just gonna add in a bit of, no, I think that's quite right. Okay, just a bit of geometry here. Nothing too substantial. Yeah, so some things are a little incongruent between like this line, like these lines up here, and then this line down here. Yeah, what can we do to fix that up a bit? Yeah, I guess we can square this off a little bit. Okay, Civic said, yeah, I think I just drove Lance to suicide. Sorry, dude. Civic says, it was a problem California had. We had a starfish problem. You guys had a starfish problem? What the hell? First world problems, I guess? And the solution is to cut off the limbs and throw them back into the ocean. And then the starfish population exploded from that. Wow, okay. What part of the government sanctioned that? And how can you have a plan like that and not know anything about starfish? That is ridiculous. You could have just taken all the starfish and like dipped them in rubbing alcohol or something. I'm sure that would kill them. But you guys had to chop them up and then throw them back in the water. Unbelievable. You could at least fed them to like your aquariums or something. But no, you had to throw them back in the ocean. That is pretty funny though. Oh, okay. Lance had made a joke earlier. He says he figured Nergigante would actually want to mate with each other because they're always horny. Right. Yeah, maybe. Okay, yeah, you should probably leave, Lance. Okay, let's fix this line. This is looking a little too sketchy. Okay. Add some more details on this. Okay, and this is kind of a center line like for the neck. Okay, man, something is like really bothering me about this. Yeah, we might have to... Okay, I think it's because this line down here is flat, and these like slant down. Oh god, we'll just have to fix this. Hold on. I'm so annoyed right now. Yeah, it's really hard to get curves and then flat lines to kind of work well together. God damn it. Ugh, fucking god. Here, I think that's a little better. Okay, that's bothering me a lot less. Oh, fuck. What the hell's my pen doing? Jesus, it just had a seizure for a second. Nope. It picked a whole different tool? What the shit? Pen, what the fuck? Okay, are we on the right setting? Okay. Jesus, that was weird. Wait, why is it gray? Seriously, what the hell, man? That's fucking... Okay. It selected the dropper tool and picked a different color while it was glitching out. That's fantastic. Yeah. I think technology's here to help you. You're wrong. Okay. Pen. No, thanks, Lance. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. You go out there and shake your ass for money. Yeah, I don't know who else is watching this, but if you're here to hang out, like, just feel free to leave a comment or just ask a question or whatever. Yeah, so I'm here to chat. Like, if nobody wants to talk about anything, I can just kind of say what I'm thinking as I'm working on this stupid thing. Or if you want to just hear the lore behind this thing, or just know more about my writing project, I can talk about that. Otherwise, it'll just be me talking unless you guys want to discuss something. Okay, I think what I want to do is I want to make this piece actually come out a little more and be more narrow. So do one of these things. Yeah, so that'll give it more of a wedge-like geometry. Yeah, because just a round color is a little boring, you know. Let's do some more stuff with it. Okay, I think we can make this line a little flatter now. Yeah, so my drawing process is, this might be like an amateur way to draw, but a lot of it is just kind of drawing out a line and just kind of feeling how all the lines relate to each other. And then, yeah, like it's kind of just, you kind of need your eyes to look at the lines that are there and then just see, like, this kind of convey the proportions I'm looking for. Okay, that's looking okay, but I feel like it might actually be interfering with the rest of the torso. I think I like the wedge shape, but let's make that a little shorter actually. So we're gonna bring the entire line up. Okay, so let's do one of these. I'll give it a bit of a shorter color. Okay, how's that look? Yeah, I think that's better. Oh, this one. Okay, Civic says, if he recalls correctly, the government was trying to protect the corals because the starfish eat them if given the chance. Yeah, those starfish, they're basically like seafloor vacuums or Roombas. They just kind of crawl around and eat whatever they get on top of. So yeah, they do eat a lot of corals. Man, like, yeah, I don't know much about coral marine biology. But how do coral protect themselves from predators? You know, because I know they can kind of tuck themselves into their calcium shells. But if something like a starfish can, like, just suck them out or chew through the calcium, then I don't know. Yeah, maybe eventually the starfish will get full and they don't eat all of the corals or some shit like that. Yeah, some animals actually use their that strategy of just feeding things to death, like just overfeeding all the predators so that at least some of their members survive. I think things like locusts and butterflies will do that sometimes. Yeah, maybe some species of birds too. Okay. Okay, let's okay, we're just gonna, ooh, that line is, oh my lord. Okay. Okay, that'll do. Okay, let's save our shit. Kind of feel like I want to fix this thing. It looks really goofy right now. Okay, so if I recall from my high resolution Wing Zero kit, I think this piece is actually, the piece on top is actually curved like a little bit. Oh, why is my brush sensitivity so high right now? Okay, so let's bring this out a little bit. Okay, that looks a little less dumb. Yeah, what are we doing with this? Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing with that. I've never drawn one of those before, but we'll go back and fix that later. Okay, so what I want to do right here is I want to clean up some of these lines, and what I'm going to do actually is after I finish the complete line work, I'm actually going to put a whole new layer over everything and just kind of redraw the whole thing. And so maybe cleaning up lines isn't a great use of time, but I just kind of want to get this a little more cleaned up. It's just instinct for me, so we'll see. Yeah, I watched a few of Rake's or Ronaldo Quintero's art streams, and he doesn't clean up any line work. He just makes a new layer and redraws the whole damn thing. But he works a lot faster than I do, and obviously he's much more experienced than I am. So yeah, I don't know if I can do that. Okay, so this line is, yeah, a lot of times when I'm kind of feeling out the lines, I make them like really, really heavy. And that kind of lets you finagle like where the line is exactly. So we're just going to thin this out. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to rotate the canvas this way, just to make the pen stroke a little more natural for me right here. Yeah, and this is actually why these lines right here are so bad. It's because they go at a slant that's unnatural for my right arm. So now that I rotate the canvas, everything looks a lot better. Okay, let's go ahead and clean up these lines. Okay, I want to disconnect this line just to give the geometry more connection. Like get the shape to be connected together. Yeah, fewer lines to separate everything. Okay, man, these lines are really rough. Yeah, so the thing I was going for with this design is, if you guys had watched Gundam Wing, you know there's a whole bunch of different versions of the Wing Gundam and the Wing Zero. And what I wanted to do with this design was I kind of wanted to marry all the designs together into like sort of like the ultimate Wing Gundam. And so it kind of takes a lot of the design features of the Wing Gundam and just either simplifies or streamlines them, and just adds a lot of like really mean angles to the thing. So it's what I really like in my mobile suit designs are like really strong, really tough looking mobile suits, like really strong posture, mean looking weapons, that type of stuff. Yeah, and that's actually one of the main reasons I have this machine gun right here, or this machine cannon. It has exposed barrels, so you can actually see the gun. That's a little more intimidating, I feel. Yeah, the Wing Zero, it has machine cannons like hidden underneath these hatches and stuff, but I wanted to have it exposed. Okay, I think that line's better. Oh Jesus, what happened? Okay, let's clean up this line right here. It's a little thick. Okay, that's looking a lot better. Ugh, this line right here is really fucked up. Okay, so Civic went back to double check on articles for the starfish problem, and he can't find it because there are new starfish problems. Wow, I am really sorry about that. Jesus. Yeah, starfish are a big deal apparently. Yeah, what we should do is we should breed some sort of starfish super predator, and then when that finishes eating all the starfish, we can start worrying about that thing eating us. Isn't that how things usually go? That kind of reminds me. Have you guys ever seen this movie called Mega Piranha? Like it's one of those horrible Sci-Fi Channel like no funding movies, and it just has like, it's my favorite bad movie. It's just so entertaining to see how bad that movie is. Like such bad acting, really bad CG, and the movie just doesn't make sense. But it is hilarious. Okay, I gotta clean up this line. This line is really fucked up. What the hell is this line doing? Okay, and okay. I guess technically there's an implied line right there. Okay, that looks a lot cleaner now. A lot cleaner. Yeah. Okay. Civic says the new starfish problem is a disease has ravaged the starfish population, and their population is on the rise again. Okay. Okay, so I guess the population went low due to the disease, and I guess now that there's kind of like empty territory with few starfish, the population's going back up since there's more starfish food available. Yeah, that happens all the time. Like kind of like if there were a disease for people, there would suddenly be a lot more access to donut shops, because there just wouldn't be enough people to eat all the donuts. And then suddenly people who have a lot of access to donuts, they have a lot of extra energy to go out there and make more people. So I guess that would make the population go up, you know, after the decline of the disease. Yeah, you'd be surprised. Like, there's all kinds of problems for animals, like starvation and getting killed by other animals and stuff, but the number one thing that kills everybody is disease. Okay. Alright, I think there was a line over here that I missed. Yeah, this one. This one's still all weird and chunky. Oh, that's an eraser. Okay, oh shit. Yeah, the brush size for the eraser is a little higher, and I guess that makes it a little more pressure sensitive. Okay. Okay, and I hold down space to just move the canvas around like this. Okay, this little piece down here is very, very sketchy. Because, oh, that's a pen. It's very, very sketchy because, you know, same problem. It's all, most of the lines are at the angle that's kind of bad for my right hand. So we're just gonna go ahead and clean this up too. Yeah, and weirdly enough, sometimes you want to avoid making your lines too straight, because then the drawing just, it loses a lot of vibrance and life to it. It starts feeling really cold and uninteresting, like it wasn't really drawn by a person. Yeah, so while I'm transitioning to digital art, I wanna make sure my line art is clean, but not so clean where it looks uninteresting, you know. Man, these lines up here are really fucked up. Okay, that looks about right. Let's clean this guy up a little bit. This line right here is going to be a heavier line because it supports one of the main geometries on there. Okay, let's broaden this a little bit. Okay, that looks better. Yeah, much better. Okay, Civic says apparently the starfish evolved to be resistant to the disease that hurt them or kind of decreased the population earlier. Yeah, that's what happens a lot. Is the disease will kill off all the starfish that, you know, were vulnerable to the disease, leaving behind only the starfish that can resist it. And so when those starfish reproduce, you have a shit ton of starfish that are immune to that disease. That's exactly how evolution works. Yeah, it's pretty awesome if you think about it. Okay. Okay, I think what I want to do is, this thing looks so narrow that it's sort of goofy. So I want to kind of make it broader up here. Hey Sushi Yoda, what's going on? I am just working on a drawing, and apparently not a lot of people want to watch this because, well, it's some guy working on a drawing. It's not a video game with explosions or risk of death or anything like that, but that's understandable. That's fine. Okay, something about this is bothering me like a lot, but I can't really say what it is. Okay, let's redo this. looks a little better. Okay, we have a lot more lines to clean up. Okay. Okay, you know what? Like, I think I could clean up the rest of these lines, but that's not very interesting for you guys to watch. So I think what I'll do is let's go ahead and sketch out the rest of the body, like just to get a general sense of stance and proportions, and we'll go on from there. How's that? Okay, so we're gonna get into a new layer. Oh, why are you doing that? Okay, we're gonna put it all the way on top. Okay. Yeah, so proportion is some of the most difficult stuff you can do in a drawing, but it's actually the most important thing in drawing, in my estimation. It's sort of what captures the beauty of a drawing. It's in the proportions. Yeah, you'll see that in people, like in nature, like just proportion and balance. That's all beauty is, as far as I can tell. Okay, so we want the shoulders to come up a little bit here. Arms about right here. Elbow, lower arm, hand. And in my old drawings, I had a bad habit of drawing very short pelvises, but that's just sort of bad for the anatomy and proportions of the mobile suit. So I'm trying to do longer, like vertically long pelvises, and then yeah, it helps you just do better geometry and perspective for the legs. Okay. Okay. Alright, so we're on a different layer, so let's just not fuck this up. Okay. Okay, just very general geometry. Okay, so we're going to start with this shoulder joint. Okay, and this is the part of the shoulder it's not armored, but it has all the articulation in it. Like normally it's completely hidden by the shoulder pauldron, so most people don't even bother to draw this, but in this drawing I kind of want to make sure that all that stuff is there so that we know what things look like. Okay, and it's sort of boxy like usually. Okay, and I could just have the arm come straight down, but that's going to make it's going to make the posture a little boring. Let's have it come out at this angle a little bit. I guess I'll have to fix this angle a little bit. There we go. Okay, box in that direction, and this arm is kind of theok. I think we might have to thin this out later, but yeah, the arm will end at about here, and that might seem a little short, but once you add the shoulder pauldron up here, and then the elbow joint and the lower arm, this will be just about right. Here, a little bit of an opening for the joint. I feel like I'm fucking this up for some reason. Okay, let's try to keep these a little more general. Yeah, and if you notice this very simple geometry, these are basically just boxes. Yeah, but they're the building blocks of your proportions. Okay, let's work on the pelvis. Okay, so I think I want the pelvis to kind of start a little bit below the abdominals. Okay, and in my old drawings, I had a little bit of an issue, like not making the pelvis as three-dimensional as I should. So let's make sure that it's got some depth to it properly. Hey fam, what's going on? Yeah, I have a lot of hobbies and not really enough time for all of them. It's really stupid. Yeah, I kind of wish I was good at fewer things, so that way I can just focus on one thing and be really good at that. Sushi Oda is asking, is this an original design? It looks Wing inspired. It actually is a Wing Gundam, but it's a Wing Gundam for my story I'm doing. So, hold on. Windows. Yeah, so this is the design I'm redrawing. It's the Wing Gundam Hiro Yui Custom. So I'm kind of writing a book which is a sequel to Gundam Wing. It is in conflict with Frozen Teardrop canon-wise, so they kind of negate each other. But basically, there's basically a conflict between Earth and Mars, and so yeah, this is a rebuilt like Wing Gundam using like new technology. So it's kind of like a third generation Gundam, you could say. So design-wise, I just wanted to take the Okawara and the Hajime Katoki designs of all the Wing and the Wing Zero variants and just kind of mush them together. So that's what it does. But yeah, it is a Wing Gundam, and it doesn't use Zero system. So anyway, wait, why is that not working? Anyway, okay, where were we? Okay, working on the pelvis. Or the skirt armor or the pelvis. Okay, so we're gonna... This might be a little short. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, we don't want everything to be a box. That would be a little dry. Okay, that might be a little big. Yeah, it's probably too wide. I don't know, we'll fix it later. It's just in draft. Okay, here's the part I'm really bad at. So, the side skirts, I have a lot of issue putting depth to the side skirts. And then making them in the right proportions. Okay, how did we have this design? I think it was more hexagonal, right? I feel like I'm fucking this up really bad. Oh yeah, and this... We gotta make sure this isn't completely two-dimensional. That would be very counterproductive. Oh shit, I'm fucking this up. There. Oh, why does that look so off? Because it's uneven. Okay, how does that look when we zoom out? It's a little big. Let's take that, and we're gonna... First of all, we're gonna shorten it a little bit. face a little more narrow. Okay, we're going to move this to the right just to line it back up. A little higher. Okay, that looks a little better. You know what, guys? I think I need to take a break and go to the restroom, so we will be right back. Alright, let's see how I do this in OBS. Okay, we're going to switch over to the scene. I will be right back, okay, guys? Okay, and we're back, unfortunately, because now you have to talk to me again. Okay, alright, let's pull up the dashboard again. Here we go. Okay, so where were we? I might end up having to extend the canvas again. Okay, so let's sketch in where the legs are. Okay, where's our brush? Okay, so what I want to do is I kind of want to sketch in where the hip joints are. They'll be right about here. You know what? Maybe I should approach this in a different way. Yeah, we gotta make sure these are not completely flat, three-dimensional. Okay, hip joints. Hip joint. Let's do the other one over here. Okay, and then we want to do thighs. Yeah, and I don't know why, but leg proportions are like really controversial on mobile suits. Yeah, some people like really long legs. Some people like shorter legs. Some knees are bent really weird in comparison with each other. Like Okawara, he's got this weird shit going on where the knees look double jointed or something, and they're kind of bending in the wrong direction. Like they'll like if the leg were flowing in this direction, he'd have the shins bend this way or some shit like that. It looks kind of goofy to me, but yeah, he's one of the masters, so I try not to talk too much about that. Okay, so what I find about most Gundams is their knee sections and their shin sections are very long. Especially, and the length is mostly due to the knee and the knee armor section. And that's some of the most complicated fucking shit like ever. Yeah, so this Wing Gundam design, it has like really beefy legs because it has like a whole shitload of thrusters on there, and really big knee armor. So the knee armor will be about this shape, I think, or this size, and the shin will be about this long. Okay, I don't even know what this section's called. Upper lower leg armor, I don't know. Okay, and here's a mistake a lot of people make. They make the ankle section like just non-existent. They just connect the foot directly to the leg, but they forget to leave a little bit of ankle. If you don't do that, your leg's not gonna, or your foot's not gonna have any articulation like at all. So you gotta leave a bit of ankle, and that's gonna make your leg even longer somehow. And yeah, and then what people have a lot of fucking trouble with is posing the foot. There's all kinds of different ways you can pose the foot. And then, I don't know, like I have this, so this leg is facing in this direction, but I could rotate it so that I could rotate it this way. so that it's kind of facing down here instead. But well, I guess right now we're just worried about the proportions, so we'll go back and do like maybe leg like posture. We're gonna go back and do posture later. Right now we're just worried about proportions. Okay. Alright, and you notice that I draw the left side of the body first because I'm right-handed. And yeah, and oftentimes it's gonna be a little hard to draw the right side of the body. And that's when the perspective and the proportion starts getting really goofy. Okay, so here's that hip joint section. We're gonna come out from there. Okay, and here's a mistake a lot of people make. They make this hip, or this thigh section just completely flat, and they don't remember that this is supposed to be a three-dimensional form, and so you should really give it more depth, and it should actually, basically the centerpiece of the armor should overlap with the right leg, the right thigh. It should go over that. So make sure there's depth to your geometry. Okay. All right. Okay. Where do we want the knee to go? Right here. Yeah, I don't know if this is really the stance I want. Yeah, we might redo the stance possibly. Yeah, I'm having to lift my pen up a lot so that I can, you know, because I can't see through my pen. I have to pick it up to see where everything is. I think we have to lower that line a little bit. There we go. Now that's even. Yeah, so I don't know if you're a little less experienced with this. I guess you can put on the roller just to make sure you're like everything is even, like going across. Like I spent a lot of time just practicing how to eyeball this, so hopefully it's okay. I think it needs to be a little lower actually. Okay, yeah, so, yeah, let's go ahead and draw out the rest of the foot before I make a judgment call on these proportions. Yeah, to me the legs seem a little short, so I might lengthen them actually. So, okay, let's finish out the foot. So we have a foot like there. Yeah, and Gundam feet are like really fucking weird. Like very difficult to draw for some fucking reason. Yeah, but they have like a front section, like, and then a back heel section. And we're just doing general geometry. Okay, the top of the foot. Whatever. Okay. No. Here. Okay. General feet. Okay. So that kind of lays out our proportions for the mobile suit. Yeah, sorry if I'm zooming out really far, but I am like leaned in really close to this monitor. Okay, so So these proportions seem about right to me, but they're... I might make... Hold on. It's possible I might make the shins a little longer, but the thing about this stance is that it's a little narrow and a little boring. So what Kotoki does with a lot of his drawings or illustrations is that he makes the stances very wide, like on the mobile suits. And in some pictures it looks a little goofy, but in others it looks pretty good. So it's kind of hard for me to say. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm gonna rotate this leg out slightly and see if I can get that a bit better. Okay, so I'm gonna have to just grab all of this. Okay, free transform. Okay, here's this center dot that controls the center. We're going to change that to actually where the hip joint is, and that will help us rotate in a way that makes more sense. Holy shit, what the fuck was that? I don't know what happened. Sorry guys. Alright, let's rotate this out a little bit. Just a little bit. There. Okay, let's try that. Okay, deselect. Okay, I'm feeling better about that already. And let's go ahead and lasso the right leg, and we're going to rotate that out a little bit too. Not too much, just a little. Okay. Oh Jesus, I did a really bad job lassoing that. Let's try that again. Okay, lasso. Go. Okay, free transform. Let's move the center to the joint. Where is the joint? Right here, I think. Okay, this one very, very mild rotation. Very mild. Yeah, I think Kotoki, he might even do like a wider stance than this. Okay, how's that look? Yeah, I think I want to rotate this leg a little more. It's going to start looking a little goofy, but that's okay. Alright, one more rotation on this leg. Okay, same trick. Very mild. Okay, and another thing we can do is we can actually move the entire lower half of the body a little bit forward, just to kind of give it, it's hard for me to describe, but it kind of gives it like a more powerful posture, kind of like this. Oh yeah, I think I had that misaligned to begin with. Oops. Yeah, this looks better. Yeah, I'm really glad I caught this. Anyway, yeah, there we go. Okay, let's save that. Okay, let me zoom out and eyeball this a little bit. Okay, so yeah, I'm liking this posture. Generally the proportions look good. It's possible I might make the legs longer. Like just a little bit longer. I think I want to rotate this arm. It's a little close to the body, and so if you notice on the original design, it has like this really big like side skirt section, and I think if I don't rotate the arm out, the arm's gonna interfere with the depth of this armor piece. It's actually a thruster jet, so I think I'm gonna have to rotate the arm out just to make sure it doesn't interfere with that. Okay, so take our lasso tool. I'm gonna rotate this guy too. Okay, same trick. Yeah, it's digital art makes everything so fucking easy. You can just adjust like crazy. There we go. That's okay. That looks a lot better. It actually gives it a much more powerful looking stance, don't you think? Yeah, and if we choose, we can actually have like we can either have this lower arm, like we could rotate it a little more inwards, or we can just have the hand like a little inwards. Like this thing can. Okay, here's a wrist section right here, and we can have the hand kind of like rotate inwards like this in a fist. Okay, thumb. Okay, fist. Something like that. Yeah, so that's a fairly strong posture. Yeah, I really like that. Okay, let's save that shit. Okay, yeah, I could do the right arm right now. I'm not sure if that's necessary, but I guess we can. Hey guys, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I know you're just coming in the middle here, so if you need some context, just let me know. Feel free to ask a question, leave a comment like in the chat, and yeah, I'm watching the chat, so just let me know if you want to talk about anything or just want to ask a question about what we're doing here. Okay, so we could do the boring thing and like, you know, just draw out the right arm with the same shit going on. But I think that would be kind of boring. So I think what I want to do is I want to make the right arm making some sort of gesture. So that's going to make my drawing a lot more complicated than it needs to be, but I think it would really give the mobile suit more character if I did that. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to attempt some sort of gesture with the right arm. Okay, so what is that going to look like? Okay, and I know I haven't drawn this joint section on here like I should have because I'm an idiot. But yeah, let's just start out with the shoulder joint. It's gonna be at about right here. Okay, a little taller. Okay, so the shoulder joint will be about right here. And I think what I want to do is I want the arm to be coming forward. Okay, Matt says he feels like the head should be smaller. Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, like in current proportions that they do in a lot of like modern kits, like the heads are really, really tiny. Like at least compared to the rest of the body. Yeah, I could make the head smaller, but let's go ahead and kind of feel out the rest of the proportions before we do that. I mean, like for me, like compared to the rest of the body, this head size feels appropriate, but we can actually do a measurement test real fast if you want. Okay, so the head's on this layer. So I think yeah, so I don't have any formal training in art, but Like, there's this rule for head height. Oh, fuck. What the hell is it doing? This one. Why did you select a completely different layer? What the hell is going on? This one. Here, I want you to move this piece. There we go. Jesus, what is the matter with you? Okay, so you can basically measure out your proportions by head height, and I feel that's a generally good rule of thumb, but it also gets people in a lot of trouble because they try to do like the torso length and the arm length by head height, but then when they finish the drawing, like it looks weird. So I don't know, I tend to just kind of eyeball things. But anyway, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this head and we're just gonna like basically just duplicate it like 8 times. What the flying fuck are you doing? I'm not selecting the back layer. I want to copy this thing. Yeah, this one. Jesus, what the hell is the matter with you? Okay, and I think if I do... Oh, that's... Oh, Lord. Why did you do that? I swear to fucking God. Is there a key command to kind of copy and move at the same time? Because that would make me very happy. Anyway, I guess we can just... I think we actually just... We can just put these together in the same layer. And we'll just copy that. Okay, V for move. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5, 6. Okay. Yep. I guess by this... Okay, so this Gundam's at about... Actually, I think the... Okay, we actually need to move the whole thing down a little bit. I think. Wait, no? Yeah, about right there. Okay, so yeah, it's about at 6 Gundam head heights. So yeah, this thing's a little short, so maybe we do need to resize the head. Yeah, so maybe we'll go and resize the head a little later. Basically what I wanted to do was I wanted to make sure that the torso wasn't too big compared to the head, because in a lot of other designs I feel that like this, maybe this isn't a good example. Where do we have a good example? Yeah, so that is not the right button. Okay, so on this one it probably has better proportions because the head is smaller compared to the body, so it's probably in the 8 head height ratio, maybe 7. So this one, yeah, it's just that there are some other artists where they have, like, I don't want the torso to be too big on the design. Like, I want it to, like, I'm kind of experimenting with this proportion thing where the torso is smaller, but like the rest of the body is a lot larger. So, you know what, here's what we're gonna do. Okay, we're gonna, like, instead of making the head smaller, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the legs and the arms bigger. How about that? Yeah, okay, maybe we should actually look this up before I start doing anything stupid. So So there's this one artist, I don't remember what his name was, but he did a few designs that I really loved. And okay, so I think it was called the Gundam Overlord. So it's this mobile suit with like big wings, and its only weapons are funnels and a beam sword. It was really fucking badass. So here's somebody did a fan art 3D render of the thing. I think this is it right here. So this is his original drawing. Here it is. Yeah, so I think this guy did some Gundam Seed, like fan fiction stuff. Wait, is this one of his designs? I don't remember. Anyway, okay. Yeah, Gundam Overlord. Where is the original drawing? Why are these such low resolution bullshit? Okay, I think this is his original design. Yeah, this is the original drawing I'm referring to. Yeah, so this thing, if you look at its proportions, it has like a smaller head and a smaller torso, but its proportions, like it has fucking gigantic shoulders and fucking gigantic legs. So normally on a human, like the ratio of the legs to the upper body, I think it's like almost 50-50. But on this thing, like the head and the torso, they're almost like a third or even less than that of the total head to foot height. Yeah, so I kind of wanted to do proportions a little more like this. I wanted the torso to look a little smaller compared to the limbs and the armor. But if I'm gonna do that, yeah, it might need bigger legs. Yeah, so if you guys want, Sishioda said was to give him head funnels. That would be hilarious. I think I might actually do that, like just as a goof. But yeah, so let's go ahead and give that a spin. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually have to change the canvas size again. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit so I can see this a bit better. So we're going to give it more space in this direction, and we're going to need a shit ton of more space for the wings on this thing. Maybe some more vertical space too. Maybe a little more height this way. Nope. Why am I being so indecisive? Okay. Alright, so here's what fucking oh, Photoshop, why you embarrass me like this? Alright, let's fill this in. There we go. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're going to I think we're actually gonna go ahead and make the legs a little bigger right now. Where are they? Okay, layer 6. Okay, sorry. Let me put my OJ glove back on. Like I have this artist glove, which is it's just a glove that covers my pinky and my ring finger. It feels really fucking weird. It looks even weirder, but it keeps me from smudging my tablet monitor. But I took it off while I was using my mouse for like Googling stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's grab these legs, and we're gonna go ahead and make them a bit longer. Transform. Okay, okay, right there. Okay, deselect. And I don't know if... Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna lasso the... Like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get rid of these lines. They don't need to be there anymore. Whoops, that is not even the right thing. Okay, we're gonna get rid of these lines. We don't need them anymore. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lasso the lower legs. And I'm just gonna just bring them down. Okay, we're gonna bring them down. Maybe not too far. And then we're gonna re-lasso, and I'm gonna make the knee sections longer. Okay, this is fun. I haven't gotten to do a lot of this reproportioning in doing traditional mediums, so yeah, this is pretty handy. Okay, how's that? Okay, I'm feeling a bit better about that. Like, it looks really, really fucking tall now. But, like, yeah, once I start adding all the armor details and all the jet thrusters on this thing, it's probably gonna look a little less goofy. And let's go ahead and compare what happened here. Okay, so we added another head. So it's still like at 8 head or 7 head heights instead of 8, but I think I'm gonna keep it like this for now. And we may choose to make the head smaller, like in the future, or we might just make the entire body bigger, instead of making the head smaller. But yeah, so that was a good practice exercise. So yeah, thanks for putting that out. That was pretty fun. Okay. So MD's asking, am I using a tablet or a mouse? So I do have my mouse here, but I'm using a tablet monitor. So I have a stylus. Yeah, so that's how I can do all these crazy lines and shit. Okay. And I'm not sure, like, do we need to reproportion the arm? Like, I could just make the shoulder armor fucking gigantic. I'm actually not a fan of really, really big shoulder armor. I kind of like my shoulder armor to be, like, more compact and practical, but complicated looking, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm actually sort of annoyed with Kunio Okawara's shoulder designs, because they're just huge and they flare out for, like, no reason, and they don't really have any practical value. So yeah, let's actually enlarge in the arm a little bit, just a little bit. Okay, there we go. Okay, MD is asking, what is my tablet monitor? I don't have a Cintiq. Don't those things cost like a shitload of money for some reason? I actually have an Oogie 2100, I think. Is that the right thing? Maybe a 25. Let me check. I don't know why I guess instead of just look. Wait, what the fuck is this thing? That looks kind of cool. What the fuck? Gundam Fanon. Oh. Alright, well, I guess I'll have to eyeball that later. Anyway, holy shit. Sorry, I'm going all over the place right now. Oogie. Yeah, 2150. This is what I have. I think they're out of production now, so they went down in cost all of a sudden. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, so it leans down. It works really well. Like very good reactivity to the pen and very clean looking display. So they used to be like $600 or $700, but they dropped in price recently to about $460. So that's really good for me. So yeah, I bought it when the price dropped. So I quite like it. I haven't used any other tablet monitor, but for whatever the hell I'm doing, it works pretty well. So that's what I'm using right now. Okay, back to the sketch. Hold on, somebody's messaging me. I need to check it. Okay. Okay, so we're going to... Oh, that looks kind of weird. Okay, no, I don't want to do that. Let's lengthen the arm just very, very slightly. And I kind of forgot the rules for arm proportions, but generally when, like, this is a fist, but when you have your fingers extended, it should reach to the knees. And this might be like really gross, like like a really gross way to describe this, but if a lady were to have her arm behind her, she should be able to reach her front side, if you know what I mean. And this is just like me, like looking at things that I'm not going to talk about on the live stream, but yeah, you should be able to reach that way. Anyway, okay, so is this long enough? I think it might need to be a little longer. Yeah, I think I'm about comfortable with that. Any longer than I would start feeling weird about it. Okay, so we're at 7 head heights, and the canvas just got explosively larger. Oh, this guy's so much fucking work. Anyway, okay, so we're done fiddling with proportions. Let's go ahead and start doodling in this right arm. Oh, okay. MD says, this might be a typo, but he says he hates the Cintiq 11 for a long time. I think he might mean he had one for a long time, and he says it sucks. Currently using the Cintiq 13 Pro. It's a laptop and not just a monitor. Expensive. Really? Cintiq made its own laptop? Yeah, I'm like a super amateur, so I don't know shit about these things. That's what the fuck is a Cintiq 13? Oh, okay. Yeah, I really wanted to get a tablet that had buttons on the side, because honestly, trying to use a keyboard and a tablet at the same time is kind of awkward. But yeah, these things, they can be phenomenally expensive. Yeah, I don't know. And I mean, like my Oogie 2150 it's gigantic. It's like a widescreen monitor, so it gives me a lot of canvas space. And Cintiqs, they're a lot smaller for more money. So I'm not really sure what lift people get out of that. But yeah, I have a ton of canvas space. But honestly, on here, like, even though I have a lot of canvas space and it helps me eyeball things, like, I think on the monitor I only use about like this much of it at a time. But that's just me. Anyway, yeah, I didn't know you had that type of stuff, MD. Like, what are you drawing on it? I'd be interested to know. Yeah, here I'm probably looking like a giant noob. Like to MD, he's judging me. Oh, look at Zero, he's such an idiot. Alright, so let's get in the rest of this arm. Okay, so MD says he uses a software called Harmony. They only work with Wacom. Dude, that sucks. Yeah, like I try to go for adaptability. So like honestly, I only have any practice in Photoshop. That's why I'm using it now. But yeah, that's kind of one of the main reasons I'm sticking with Windows and Photoshop, stuff like that. Like just no compatibility issues, that type of stuff. Oh, MD does animation. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, I have to check that out. I don't remember getting your channel link, but I'll have to look at that. That ought to be pretty cool. Yeah, actually, I actually wanted to do some animations myself, but it looks like a huge pain in the dick. Like, I actually I did some Flash animations in high school. I took a class on it, and they were really fun. I really liked them, and everybody really liked my work, but they were just so much work for so little gain, you know? I have the wrong color on. I'm so stupid. Okay, fix the color. Alright, so I actually want it to have a gesture where it's kind of having its hand forward. So there's going to be a lot of foreshortening on this arm if we're doing that gesture. Hopefully I am not fucking it up. I probably am, but okay, let me think about this for a second. Okay, so if this arm has the elbow facing this way, how should we have the elbow face on this arm? Okay, so if we keep the joint on this axis, then it means the forearm can do this, I think. Okay, so that the foreshortening will actually kind of overlap the joint. You won't be able to see it. Okay, how do we want to do the hand? AMD, I'm really glad you're liking it. I mean, like I would do more details now, but details take a long fucking time, and it's kind of like, I know live streams are a little more like impatient. You kind of just want to draw what people want to look at. So yeah, I'm trying to do more general things. So I think from here, like after I finish this arm, I'm gonna go back and do the shoulder pauldrons. Like those are like really cool. Okay, Ender Art says he wants to draw digital, but he lost his drawing monitor screw and can't find the spare screw. Wow, man, I'm really sorry that happened to you, but I'm not sure what you're talking about. What is a drawing monitor screw? Like does your monitor have a stand and the screw just kind of keeps it in the right orientation or something like that? Yeah, that sucks, man. I'm really sorry that happened. Yeah, this Oogie, it has this adjustable like posture thing on the back. It's a little loose. Like, I don't like how loose it is, but I guess it works well enough. Alright, let's see how we're gonna do this fucking hand. Hands are really fucking hard, guys. Alright, so we got a wrist. Probably a little more out here. Okay, how do we want to do this hand? Okay, I want it to do like a gesture, but not have it be like too much of a gesture, because then it gets kind of gay. Sorry guys, this is kind of how I talk, but okay, here's the thumb coming out here a bit. Okay, maybe this needs to be a bit more of a flat angle. And the way I kind of like to do hand gestures is I kind of do the index finger and then the pinky, and I just kind of fill everything in between. Yeah, so this is just like a really undefined open hand gesture. I don't even know how to describe this. Okay, shade the middle finger look. Okay, that seem about right to you guys? Yeah, Ender says mecha is hard. Yes, mecha is really fucking hard. It's very time consuming. Like, I can spend weeks working on a mobile suit, but like I can knock out a character, like a person, in like an hour or two. I don't know what it is. It's probably just the geometry or something. Like, let's look at this old drawing. Like, how long did this take me? So I always like date stamp the start and the beginning. So this one I was working on for 22 days. Not really back to back, but like the whole the line art took me 22 days to do. And I can do line art for a character in like one sitting. So it's a lot of labor to draw mecha. Ooh. Okay, well, I actually kind of like how that hand gesture came out, but yeah, we'll go back and clean it up later. Okay, just a quick proportion check on the arm. Okay, so I think the size of the hand is about right. And you know, the right arm, it has foreshortening on it, so it's a little hard to tell what the proportions are, but let's just assume that it's right. And you know, since we lengthened the legs, I think we can actually afford for the posture to be a little, the stance to be a little wider. Yeah, let's go ahead and adjust the stance again. I know you guys already saw me do this, but I don't know. We want to get it right. Like, there's a reason I'm sketching out the proportions first, because if I start adding detail and then want to fix things later, it's going to be a huge pain in the ass. So let's just go ahead and do this now. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit. So fuck this up. There. Okay, so let's make the stance a little bit wider. We want to be careful not to make it look... shit, I think I fucked it up. Yeah, we gotta be careful not to make it look goofy. But, yeah, I want to widen the stance a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, we're going to move the... I don't know what the hell this thing's called, but we're going to move the point of rotation to the actual hip joint, so that it rotates in a natural way. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit so I can... Oh, Jesus, what are you doing, man? Okay, so there we go. Okay, let's rotate this out a little bit. Okay. You know, I think we can... move that. And I think we can actually just rotate the leg or something. Or the lower leg. Okay, retransform. Okay, what's the rotation point? Okay, let's rotate it at the knee. I don't know if that makes sense, but it may not make sense, but we're going to try it. Okay, we're going to rotate that slightly like that. Okay. And I guess we kind of have to fix the ankle and the foot now. Okay, we're gonna have to rotate this about the ankle, like so. Okay, let's rotate it back like that. Let's move it a little in. Okay, that's looking better. I like that. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, let's rotate the right leg. Okay, let's lasso this bitch. There we go. Okay. Alright, same deal. Okay, where's that hip joint? There. Yeah, and I think we can actually... Wait, you know what? Let's reach... Oh, fuck. Fuck that. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate the thigh out a lot, but I'm going to bring the knee back down. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, maybe we can actually afford to move this to the side a little bit. Okay, let's do that. Okay, let's grab the knee and rotate that down. Yeah, I hope this is fun for you guys. Like, I'm actually having a lot of fun because you never get to do this in traditional mediums. Okay, I think that's about all we want to do with that. Okay, maybe we'll rotate the ankle slightly. Okay, here, very slightly, that. Okay, how's that? Okay, I feel like we can move this leg out a little further for some reason, but yeah, that might start looking a little goofy, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and spin it right now, but if it starts looking stupid, I'll just fix it later, okay guys? Yeah, but this is a lot of fun. Yeah, like, it used to be a huge pain in the ass, like, fixing posture and stuff in traditional mediums, but this is actually kind of enjoyable. Alright. Yeah, so I think this is like this amount of width in the stance is kind of like this is about what Kotoki would do, I think. Oh shit, what are you doing? There we go. Yeah, so this is about a Kotoki stance, I think. So yeah, let's leave it at that. Okay, Ender is asking, by the way, do you build your own gunpla? Yeah, I have some gunpla. I have a huge backlog. But I do have some pictures of some, like, at my DeviantArt page. This is... Wait a second. No, that's not even the right part of the gallery. Okay, let's... Holy shit. My brain is not working. Yeah, I do have some of my gunpla there. Like, I have Fenice Renascita Alba. This is the high resolution Wing Zero. I really like this kit. Yeah, sorry, like I think my camera at the time was just complete shit. Yeah, I really like the Alba. It's so fucking badass, dude. Yeah, and the Alba and the high resolution Wing Zero, it really inspired me to make my designs like have more sophistication and geometry to them, you know. So yeah, like when I eventually do my Wing Zero design, like it's probably gonna be very complex and sophisticated compared to the one I'm working on right now. But yeah, I do have some Gunpla. Yeah, I really love the wings on the high resolution Wing Zero. That is just crazy awesome. Look at that. Yeah, this type of articulation and transformation, that's a little overboard in my opinion, but it is pretty cool. Like, just a pretty amazing feat of engineering. Yeah, I just don't like this section right here. And this section, it kind of bothers me a lot. It looks a little flimsy and not useful, but yeah, this stuff down here is just badass. I love that. Yeah, I don't think I'll have my design be quite this complicated. It'll probably be simplified compared to this, but yeah, this is pretty cool. I really like it. Yeah, this is my Elba. Yeah, here's some of my other kits. As you can see, I really like Gundam wings, so I have a shitload of wing kits. Yeah, this is my desk at work, or my old desk. But yeah, I have some model kits. Yeah, let's close out of this stuff. Okay, oh, and somebody was asking about weapons for the Wing Gundam. Where the hell is that? I think it's actually over here. Yeah, so this is the old quote-unquote design sheet of the equipment for this thing. Let me zoom in on this for you. So yeah, so the shoulder, this is what we're going to work on next, but yeah, it has an opening shoulder to reveal some beam saber handles. So inside the shoulder, it has like some quote-unquote standard beam sabers, and the shield is fairly similar to the Verka of the Wing Gundam. It has this panel on the front that reveals a beam saber handle. So in there, I'm gonna have like a high beam saber, which is, I guess, technology. It's gonna be in my story. Basically, it's a longer handled beam saber with a very, very powerful eye field on it. So you can put a lot more pressure in the plasma in there, and so you can also hold higher temperature plasma, and the beam blade is less likely to bend under pressure. So it's yeah, so that's basically what a high beam saber is in my story. And the shield is actually an AS defensor, so it uses an electromagnetic field to stop attacks, kind of like a planet defensor. And this is a high buster rifle. It has its own ultra compact reactor, and it has 2 firing modes. So it can fire like a traditional buster rifle, and it can what else? Yeah, so it can also have a very, very it can pump all of its power into the focusing ring of the barrel. So instead of like a huge blast, it fires like a really focused long range beam, kind of like a beam sniper rifle. So it has 2 firing modes. And then since this thing is so fucking beefy, like I added a beam bayonet on there, so just in case you need to block something that's creeping up on you, you know. And I had the bayonet like not just be mounted here at the end. So yeah, a lot of people treat rifle bayonet things kind of like spears, but I'm kind of treating mine more like a defensive piece of equipment more than offensive. So you see the beam is actually covering the length of the barrel, so that way you'll have an easier time blocking. And there is a little bit of length lift over in case you want to shank somebody, I guess. And I suppose you could slash somebody with this section of the blade, but the barrel's right there behind it, so you're probably not going to get a lot of depth in your cut. So yeah, let's keep that in mind. The shield does have planet defensors attached to it. I think I'll kind of want to redo this geometry. I mean, it looks cool when it's fanned out, but it's gonna really interfere with the way you can hold the shield, so I'm probably gonna redo that. And the thing should be able to transform and all that stuff, but yeah, that gets all complicated. Anyway, that's the equipment for this thing. Anyway, let's get back to the drawing. Okay, where were we? Okay, so that is generally the the proportions and posture I want for this drawing. So I think what we'll do now is, wow, this thing, I think I want to redraw that now that I kind of know what that looks like. Okay, here's the torso. Let's go back in and fix that. Wait, what is this thing? Okay. Okay, so now that we know what kind of like where the arm is in relation to this joint, I think we can afford to make this thing a little beefier, because it kind of looks really thin and spindly and kind of goofy, honestly. Alright. Okay, here we go. Eraser. What the fuck? That's not eraser. Yeah, sometimes it takes a second to switch over. I don't even know why. Okay. So we're gonna make this thing pretty fucking beefy. Okay, let's bring up the depth all the way up to here. That line was really fucked up. Okay. Something like that. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever get this thing right. I don't know why. It's just bothering the fuck out of me. I'll never get it to look right. Ugh, that's so annoying. Yeah, the high resolution Wing Zero has a joint right here for its shoulder pauldron, but I have that kit packed up right now, so I can't really eyeball it. Okay, Sushioda says he spent 90 tokens for the Pale Rider, and he only got the Desert Gelgoog and a gym command. I'm fairly sure that's not a Desert Gelgoog. It's supposed to be a ground type Gelgoog, and they're different things. But I hear it's actually a pretty good mobile suit. So yeah, let us know how that turns out, Sushioda. Okay. You know what? Like, before I forget, I kind of want to look at like MD's like YouTube page, because he said he did animations. Let me go check that out. Hold on, I am not pressing the right button. Okay. So, what is the best way to do this? Oh, sorry guys, you're gonna have to look at what all my recommendations are. So let's say we look at Counter's channel, and MD's username is MD Supa, I think. Okay. And indeed it's there. Oh no. Sorry, no music. What the fuck? MD, where are your animations? Oh yeah, I remember. I did try to look at his channel, but all I found was like all this Korean stuff. And okay, here might be some of them. Okay, yeah, we'll go look at these later. But yeah, that's MD's channel. Like, he's one of the viewers on my other stuff. Anyway, okay, back to the drawing. Okay, shoulder pauldrons. Okay, back to our test layer. You know what? We might want to do this on its whole new layer. I use a shitload of layers, in case you guys didn't notice. Okay, let's zoom this out a bit. Okay, so... Oops, okay, there's some comments here. Sushioda says the beam rifle and the ground Gelgoog stuns without charge. Yeah, yeah, we really need more sniper rifles that do that. Okay, M. Voyage, I can't really pronounce his name. He says he loves sexy robots, like so do I. Ender says the only decent looking drawing is a game character. Oh, Ender does speed painting. Okay. Yeah, that's probably something I should do just to get more practice. But, like, it's just not really in my personality to do that. I'm really, really slow and meticulous at everything I do. But, yeah, it's actually frustrating for everybody that works with me. So, anyway, that's just how I am. Sheikh Ahmed says, hey, did you hear the Kiar Stream King and Waterlands are really, really good? What do you think? Yeah, I did hear that. The stream one. Yeah, so stream is ice, king is fire, and water is water, obviously. Yeah, so looking at the stats, I saw that they were really good, but those are the 3 I don't have. I have all the other ones, but not those 3. So I would really like to get my hands on those. But if you guys want to see some people do speedruns with those lances, I know a guy named Zen T. Like, let me type that into the chat. Like, he does some lance speedruns, and he has the Kiar Crest stream. He has the ice lance, and he set some new time attack records using that lance. So yeah, check out his stuff. Yeah, so I would really like those lances, but I haven't started farming for them yet. Oh, okay. MD does 3D animations now. Okay, Sushioda says, try to push the arm back and bring into the body. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about, but yeah, having this spacing right here is actually very important for mobile suits. Otherwise, the articulation is going to be very bad for it, and generally having broad shoulders is it's very visually appealing on mobile suits. Like, if you were to look at some Katoki designs, let's go find some Katoki stuff. But yeah, I guess you can kind of see it here in the Overlord too. But the Overlord has some fucking insane spacing between its shoulder and its arm. Like a ton of spacing, like right there. Do you see how separate this stuff is? So you kind of need that for articulation. And in some ways, it does look really fucking goofy. Like, I will admit that. Oh, this one's a little more practical. But let's find a Katoki. Oh god, I'm all zoomed in and shit. Okay, so I think a good example is the XS Gundam. Yeah, Google's slow today. Where's the line art for this bitch? Wait, yeah, I guess we'll just have to use that. That is not the right one. Here. God, that is really low resolution. Here we go. So, if you look at the XS, it has, you can see its shoulder joints right here, and they are really, really separated from the torso. So, I guess the XS, it's a little bit of an exception, because it's just so beefy. It has all these parts right here that, you know, if the arm were closer to the torso, it would interfere with this gun right here. But if there weren't this separation, it would actually have to hold its arms like out, like to the side like this. But like this separation allows it to have a more normal posture. But yeah, like this kind of helps with the broad shoulder designs. Yeah, I would actually I would die happy if they put the XS into GBO2. It'd probably be complete cancer, but yeah, I think that would be fun. Sheikh Ahmed is asking, am I gonna farm Kuvi Tarat around 5? I think that around that time of the day, I'm probably not gonna be at home, but we'll see. Yeah, and this is fucking gigantic shoulder armor. Yeah, he might have. Ender might be referring to the XS or maybe the Overlord. Yeah, this is fucking gigantic shoulder armor. Yeah, this is not really my style, but this is just the way this mobile suit is. Anyway, Okay, let's head back to our drawing. Like, we've been talking like a lot of design theory instead of doing any actual drawing, but let's try to get back into that. Okay, so we're on our new layer. Okay, am I on pen? Okay. So my instinct is to always zoom really close in and just start doing detail right away, but that's kind of bad practice. I'm gonna try to stay zoomed out and just try to do proportions first. Okay, so here's the thing about shoulder, this shoulder joint and the way the shoulder armor is going to interact with it. So we know from the way I did the sketching that there's a space separation, but the shoulder pauldron is actually going to overlap all of this. It's going to come out to the front. Remember, this is three-dimensional, not two. So the shoulder pauldron is actually going to come in front of this, and that's actually going to cover up the joint, so you won't be able to see it. I'm actually going to retain this joint in the layers, because when I finish the image, I kind of want to do variations on the image where you can kind of see what everything looks like without the arm in the way. But anyway, so the shoulder pauldron is going to come up forward over here. Wait, hold on, let me double check how I did the proportions on this shoulder. Yeah, so I kind of did the similar thing here. So yeah, so this lower lip is even with the joint, and this, normally you would think this circle right here is right on top of the shoulder joint, but it kind of really isn't. Anyway, so how are we doing this? Okay, yeah, and this shoulder pauldron, I kind of like the design, but looking at it now, it's very flat. And some of the geometry is not very interesting, so I'm gonna have to redo some of that. Okay, so I think I have an idea of what that's gonna look like now. Okay, so if this comes forward, it will be at about right here, I think. I think the circle is about right here. I think I have the proportions right. Okay, top geometry, and this is something I'm gonna have to fiddle with like a lot. Something doesn't seem right about the perspective on this. You know, I'm still sketching. I'll have to come back and fix it later. The back of the pauldron will be about right here. Okay, that's the back circle. Okay, on top. Okay, I think we had this. Can I do that? And I don't know, I already feel this is something's wrong, like with this. What is wrong about it? Oh, Sushia wants them to add like the Hazel line, like Advanced Zeta stuff. That would be really fun, I think. Tree Win is asking, have you considered learning Fusion 360 and 3D printing? That sounds pretty cool, although I don't know if I have the time to pick up another hobby, because I already have like 80,000 of them. Although I suppose 3D printing is like the way of the future, so maybe I should learn how to do that. I don't know, I'll think about it. Yeah, if you can send us some resources about that stuff, just to fill me in on some basics, I would really appreciate that. Okay. Fuck. Why does this look so weird? why does this look so weird? I think the angle's up too high, so it should be more horizontal. Yeah, and something's wrong with the perspective on this. So it almost looks like the end of the shoulder right here is pointing forward, but like if this posture is to be believed, it should be just pointing either to the side or maybe even back slightly. So we gotta redo that. Ugh. Yeah, proportions on the shoulder pauldrons, I always have a lot of trouble with them. Oof. Okay, let's just wipe this shit out. Yep, I fucked that up. Yeah. Yeah, don't be too attached to things. You're gonna have to redo them all the fucking time. All the time. Okay, MD says, maybe consider using Blender 3D first. It's free, and you can 3D print from it. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look into those. Like I have some original designs that I would really like to see kit bashed. Like, this is one of them. But I think, yeah, maybe I can just try 3D printing first. Molly Katz says, Noise, this looks awesome. Yeah, thank you, man. Really appreciate the compliment. But, yeah, drawing mecha takes a really long time just to do the line work, so we're going to be working at this for a pretty long time. So hopefully you guys don't get impatient with me. So, okay, let's try to fix the perspective on this. Okay, so I think I'm going to separate the shoulder pauldron out a little bit. Okay. Okay, and you know what? I might just have to do the bitch thing and go ahead and just keep it more two-dimensional first before I start doing any weird shit with it. Okay, so this line comes up. Here's the shoulder armor. Maybe this is too high. I should lower this. Yeah, hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing, because it looks really fucking busy right here. Maybe we can... Wait, what was this? Do you guys remember what was on layer 7? What the fuck? What was on layer 7? Was there... What? Did this have nothing on it? Okay, here's where we're doing the measurement. Yeah, I really need to start naming my layers so I don't lose track of them. Anyway, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to hide this layer so that like it just makes our eyeballs bleed a little less. Okay, here's what I want to do. Okay, let's bring this circular piece down a little lower. Come on, pen mode, there we go. Yeah, can you guys see when I'm switching the pen and eraser mode? That looks wrong now. What the fuck is wrong with me? Fuck. Why is drawing so hard? Anyway, I think that was just the exact same thing I had before I erased it. Why am I so stupid? Okay, yeah, so the geometry of this shoulder pauldron is actually fairly annoying, because like even if you look at the model kits or the line art of the Wing Zero shoulder, they can't decide like, is the shoulder like curved or is it angled? Like they keep going back and forth between it, and you'll see like different video games and different model kits, they all handle it differently. Like the high resolution Wing Zero has it curved, but the metal build Wing Zero, it's geometric, so it's flat and angled. All kinds of weird shit going on. Okay. Okay, let's put the arm back in. That looks a little better to me. Yeah, I might need to go back and adjust proportions or whatever later on, but let's keep with that. Ooh, what's with that? Okay, so this thing is actually kind of curved like that. Here. So the back shoulder piece, let's say it's up here. Okay, and we have some. There's some kind of like a plate right here that protects the upper arm. It comes out like that. And you want to be careful, like with armor pieces like this. Like they look cool and they are useful because they protect more of the arm. But if you have a shield on the left arm, or well, either arm, like it's gonna interfere like crazy. And if you have a model kit and everything, it's gonna drive you fucking nuts. So you got to be careful about how this type of armor interferes with articulation a lot. So that's just my advice for that. Okay, Tree Wind says, if you do get into 3D printing, you should use ABS filament for the joints. I didn't know 3D printed things have joints. So are you saying that they have articulation in them? Yeah, I really need to... Yeah, let's just name some of these right now. Okay. Okay, general... Okay, whoops. Okay, Molly... Wait. Okay, Molly Cat says, I'm just honestly noting something, but and I might be wrong, but his hips and legs seem just a bit too forward and up. That might be true, but okay, let me point out why it looks like that. So, yeah, normally you would see, like, if this were completely flat, you would see this line right here completely lined up with this line on the abdominal, but there's actually a little bit of spacing right here. Yeah, there's a little bit of spacing right there to give it more articulation. So, yeah, so there's actually a little bit of space right here. So it actually lines up with the back of this section. So it's actually lined up properly like that, if that makes sense. So yeah, this I guess this crotch piece, it is looking like it's coming out a bit forward, but it's kind of supposed to, at least by my estimation. So let's get rid of these demo lines. I made a lot of lines. Oh, okay, there we go. Alright, so that's why that looks like that. Anyway, back to here. Yeah, so I don't know what it is, but something about this is really, really bothering me. think what it is that might even just oh, that is not it. Just get rid of the torso for a second. So one of the main things I learned doing mechanical design is that like if you have too many lines that are flush with each other, like it makes the line art look very, very flat and uninteresting. So like instead of like just having a straight line and like, well, let's say there's a part and there are two parts that are connected by a line, like you don't want to leave the line flat. Like you want to stagger it like just a little bit, and so that kind of gives it more form, more body, and more depth. And I think that's kind of the thing that's wrong with this shoulder pauldron design, is that there are so many pieces, but they're kind of perfectly flush with each other. And so I need to find a way to break that up a little bit. But it's a little unclear how I can do that. Let's see. Alright, let me go ahead and erase these demo lines, but hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, so this is a part where I just might need to spend some time like just noodling with the design and adjusting it, so hopefully that isn't too painful for you guys and you can just kind of hang out while I'm doing this. So this is going to involve a lot of just drawing and redrawing the same lines over and over, and it's going to be fairly annoying to watch probably. Okay, so here's what we'll try. So let's try to let's give that more body. That helps a little bit. Yeah, that already helps a lot in my opinion. Okay, this line, like this section always bothered me a lot, but I don't really know how to fix it. The thing is, it kind of needs to be flush, but I don't know. Kind of break it up with little details like that. This section has some kind of panel lining on it like this. Oh, wow, that looks terrible. Okay, let's bring that out a bit further, because this is supposed to be flatter geometry. Here. So that's a little more accurate. Ugh. Yeah, that line just looks really goofy, like being flush. What should I do with it? Guess I can just try doing that. I don't know, does that help? Yeah, maybe if we made this not perfectly flush with that corner. That looks a little better. Okay. And the fact that this is a gold ring right here, it's kind of flush with this curve right here, I think we need to add more stuff to that. So I think we can just add maybe a hexagonal piece, like right there. Okay, let's kind of finagle this a little bit. Okay, that's looking better. I know this had some dots on it, but I don't remember where the dots were. Okay, so this is being overlapped by the shoulder piece. This one had some similar panel lines. Where did I put the dots? Okay, let's let's check the design from the old drawing. Okay, dots on the bottom, dots on the top. They're actually circular. Weird. Okay, there's a little bit of armor separation right there. Maybe I can exaggerate that a little bit. Okay, oops, that's not the right button. Okay, man, I'm actually getting pretty tired. This is a lot of fucking work, guys. Yeah, it probably needs to be a little flatter. There we go. Okay. Okay, I guess we can work on this right here now. Yeah, and on Okawara's designs of the Wing Gundam and the Wing Zero, this circular section on the shoulder is like very, very geometrical and sort of stale and boring, I think. So I don't know, I think the way Katoki did it helped it a lot. But shit, I think the bigger section's on the bottom, right? Actually, let's do a guideline first. Okay. Nope, that needs to be bigger. Okay, and the thing about this now is that they're just circles, so I need to figure out a way to make this more interesting. Maybe we'll add some panel lining to it. That looks really stupid. Well, maybe we don't want it to go that direction, because then the line is starting to be flush with this, and we don't want that. We kind of want to keep things separate. Ugh. Okay, how do we want to do this? That helps a little bit. I don't know, I'm still thinking about this. Hey, Cool Humanity commented, "What up?" Hey, not much, man. We're just trying to figure out how to make this shoulder pauldron design a little better. Okay, you know what? I think we're gonna make this line a little beefier. Here, it's gonna come up like above that. There we go. Okay, what do we want to do? Wow, these lines are really, really sketchy. Holy shit. Okay, how did I have it over here? We should really do some armor separation right here to make this more interesting. Oh fuck, I totally forgot. Yeah, so on the high resolution Wing Zero, like this panel right here is actually its own separate armor piece, and it has its own articulation, and I actually really like that. So it actually makes the armor a lot more realistic. But yeah, maybe we should go ahead and separate it out. I don't know. We need to break this up somehow, but I'm a little unclear on how to do it. Here, let's try like a really light line. Maybe not so early. That looks really goofy. Yeah, maybe I'll try to work that out later. Okay, okay, let's do a little bit of armor separation right here. Like, just to give a hint that this is a transforming piece. How did they do that? Ah. Yeah, I'll have to figure that out later. It's just kind of too fucked up right now. Okay, so yeah, so this is just a reference line, so we can just remove that now. Okay, let's complete this line. Okay. Okay, let's work on this. Hold on. Need to clean up these lines and make them look less dumb. Okay. and we're gonna rotate the canvas just to, so I don't have to break my wrist fixing this line right here. There we go. Why is this section so hideous? Okay. Okay, maybe you should do a line separation right here. Okay, or escape to reset it. Okay. Oops. Where's the torso? Here. So I don't know, like I like the armor separation between these top two pieces, but something seems wrong about it. Like, it kind of changes the flow of the design, you know? What can I do? Let's try this. This might be a completely stupid idea, but why is this line so fucking ugly? Okay, so we're just gonna attempt this. Okay, so instead of just one armor piece doing that stuff, we have both of them doing it. Eraser. Okay, what does that look like? It's a little weird looking. I don't know if I like that. I'll have to think about it. Alright, hold on a second, guys. I gotta check some things. Okay. I think I know what we can do. Hold on. Okay, so instead of having these like flush, let's bring this piece down, actually. And we'll make the end piece a bit taller than this front piece right here. it just looks kind of bizarre now. Yeah, I'll have to keep thinking about it. Okay, so let me just zoom out and eyeball this thing. What should we work on next? Okay, Sushioda mentions the ground Gelgoog is a support type with high performance balancer. Right, it can boost and use its melee right away. People keep telling me that it has dodge roll, but I don't know if that's true or not. If so, that would make it a really slippery support type to deal with, so that's kind of cool. Jesus, I'm not sure where to move forward from here. Yeah, maybe it's too round. Point the tip up. Yeah, if I did that, it would completely change the geometry of this thing. And I'm not sure I want to do that. Yeah, I'll have to keep noodling about that later. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I still need to fill in the waist pieces. Okay. Let's just go ahead and do that. Okay, so the waist pieces, they're kind of like this. So they have these two plates right here that are just kind of generic waist pieces. I suppose on this side you won't be able to see it due to foreshortening and stuff like that, but yeah, so they have some generic waist pieces, and then on top of that we're gonna have this giant like thruster section. How far does this come down? I think that's about right there. Okay. Okay, and then the backpack is gonna be a whole other world of pain. Oh, this actually goes down a lot further than I remember. So down to where the knees are. Oh, that's about where it goes. Okay, and the backpack's gonna be nuts. Alright guys, well, I guess we've been streaming for about 3 hours. I think this is a good stopping point. So I'm actually need to refill some of my prescriptions and stuff like that. So we're gonna stop the stream here. Yeah, before we stream again, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up some of this detail. Like I didn't get to do a cleanup on the torso yet, and it is missing some detail that I would normally have on here. So I'm gonna clean up the torso, add more detail. I'm gonna work out whatever the hell geometry is going on with the shoulder. Yeah, so the ears before, like I was kind of redesigning the ears for a few hours to just see what looked best on it. But yeah, I'm gonna have to work on this a little bit, and I guess from there we can just start working on the waist section and the arms, and then onto like legs and stuff. So yeah, let me go ahead and grab this guy and move him out into the new corner we have. There we go. Save that. Okay. Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the stream here. I really appreciate you guys coming by. Like, this is the first time I've tried something like this, and it was honestly pretty fun, like just being able to talk to you guys about art and like different designs and like different mechanical designers, like philosophies and general practices and stuff like that. So yeah, so hopefully we can do this more often. I really did enjoy this. Hopefully you guys did too. And if you have any suggestions for improvements, I would really appreciate that too. Like just how to improve the drawing, or just better practices, or like anything I can do to make the stream more entertaining for you. I can do that too. I think I'm gonna try to avoid putting music on it though, because I don't know what the hell kind of copyright shit's gonna go down with like live streams and music. But yeah, it was really fun hanging out with you guys, getting to chat, and you guys had really good feedback. I fixed a lot of things, like thanks to your suggestions, so I really appreciate that. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. I'll probably use some of the community posts to just give updates on my progress on the drawing, and we'll do the occasional live stream so you guys can like hang out while I work on this. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take off and just take care of some errands and stuff like that. So yeah, if you enjoyed the live stream, just leave a like on the video. I would really appreciate that. And if you want to subscribe just to see future content, that would be cool too. So we're starting up art live streams. That's a new thing. Otherwise, we cover matches for Gundam Battle Operation 2, and we cover Monster Hunter World. Waiting for more content on that stuff. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for now. So thank you very, very much for coming by, and we'll see you guys next time.